Have you ever been thinking about someone and the phone rings and there they are? That's evidence that there was a strong pattern of thought construction that was going on. Have you ever been driving down the freeway and had an impulse to do something, and when you did it, you saw immediate reason for having done it? That's that thought construction coming into manifestation immediately. We want to bring your attention to the swiftness of the syncing up of these thoughts. We don't want you to be afraid of your thoughts. We want you to be aware when you leave this room of the construction of thought ways that you are about. And we want to ease your awareness of these construction of thought ways by saying to you, you don't have to go about it the hard way. You don't have to figure all the thoughts out. You don't have to sort them into piles. And it never works when you say, that's a pile I'm not going to think about, because you're thinking about that pile while you've decided you're not going to think about it. We want to show you that the shortcut to it is this. You have put, piece by piece, thoughts, thought patterns, thought constructions into your vortex of creation. So here's what we're getting at. If you will take the time to relax and allow the vibration that is at the core of you to be dominant. It always is dominant. However, what you're thinking in any moment in time equals your in this body, personal, physical, human point of attraction. So even though there's a vortex that is summoning to you all of the people, all of the circumstances, all of the thoughts, all of the ideas, all of the wonderful ingredients that will make for the most magnificent creations, even though all of it is there and it's all dominant for you, when you are thinking a thought in this red hot minute, what's active in your mind is active enough in your vibration that it becomes part of the mix and it confuses your point of attraction. In other words, if you want to be well and have wanted it for a while, and you've got a vortex spinning, and you do, and wellness and ideas about wellness and circumstances about wellness are being drawn to you, but you're watching television programs that are talking about all of the things that could go wrong with your body, so all of that is active within your vibration too, you can't hold the vibration of wellness and the vibration of illness at the same time. You're short-circuiting, and that's the thing that we want to lay out for you. We want you to begin to see that these thoughts are connecting with one another electronically. There are thought circuits, and the circuit that is the vortex that is spinning is a very powerful thing. But what you think and what you talk about in any point in time has a huge effect on how well you allow those circuits to be open, or, and here's really what we want to say to you, how well you are constructing other circuits that are leading you to other things that you do not want. It's such an interesting thing. You mean that kind of well-being really does abound? You mean that I am that blessed and that worthy, and I have a guidance within me that is strong enough that will show me? Practice it. Find somebody who's really given you a hard time and focus upon the injustice that they've offered and feel how awful it feels. Bring yourself to a place of really not liking someone. Really resent them and really beat the drum of it and feel how you feel. And recognize that all you're doing is choosing a stance that the source within you, that your inner being, that the larger part of you will not choose no matter what. Because no matter how much reality you're facing, your inner being will not leave the vortex and commiserate with you. And that's why you have negative emotion. And the stronger the negative emotion, that's the indication, the more that there's something on the flip side of it that you really, really want, you see. And as we said earlier, you can't necessarily really know what you don't want and then instantaneously really know what you do want, but you can distract yourself. So it's better, rather than hitting it head on, to change the subject, to get off the subject that is agitating you, or off the subject to which you are feeling so much fear, and try to find something that you feel better about. Often, when you really don't feel good, the best thing to do is to meditate, or to take a nap, or to do something to break the evil spell of the point of attraction just a little bit. We're kidding you about the evil spell thing, you know, but to break the point of attraction. So this is the point of what we've been talking about today. You've heard it all day long from us, is that it's far more productive and far easier for you to find yourself in the vicinity of the vortex and then milk that a little bit than to go from a fearful place and try to move into the vortex, because what you've got going on vibrationally is just going to reflect more back to you. Jerry had a experience a long time ago. He was working on a television show, and the wrangler was going to assign him a horse. And so there was a horse that was just really skittish and anxious and strong and moving its head. And the wrangler said, "Here's your horse." And Jerry said, "That's not a good pick for me because I'm delivering lines. I don't think that horse is going to be cooperative. I'd like a kinder, gentler horse." And the wrangler said, "You're just afraid of that horse." And Jerry said, "No, I'm not really afraid of it." He was very afraid of it. "No, I'm not afraid of it. I just don't want that horse." So the wrangler jumped on the horse. The horse reared its head back and knocked out the man's teeth. Because he had moved through his fear. In other words, he had no sensitivity to the relationship with the horse that he just had. He was accustomed to doing things because that's the way he did things. Jerry's sensitivity kept his teeth in his head. So whenever someone says, "I want to move through fear," we say, "No, you don't. You want to focus on things so that the fear dissipates. You want to bring yourself in alignment with the well-being that is natural. But we don't want you to regard your negative emotions as something unwanted. We want you to regard them as guidance that assists you in releasing the thoughts that aren't helpful and discovering the thoughts that are."